How to start a parking lot striping business and make $576,000 a year. I had no clue there was this much money in this business, and really it does not take a ton of skill to start this business and really low upfront capital. So I'm going to get into this, but there's a massive need for this business because so many parking lots are owned by commercial tenants and they don't know how to do this, nor do they really want to. They want to pay somebody to do it. They're making great money and they want to pay somebody to make their parking lot look good, and it's a necessity. You have to have lines in your parking lot for parking. So my name's Nate Jones. I run this channel. I post a video every day at 1:15 p.m. on how to start a business, how to scale a business, how to grow a business, and just how to create a better life for you and your family and get to the next level. So if you like that type of content, hit like and subscribe. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to go through how much we're going to make, how much we're going to profit, keep home, what are the things that we need to pay attention to make sure that this business is successful. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can actually create your business today for parking lot striping. Okay, so how much does it cost to get going? Well, you're going to need a truck and a trailer to haul your equipment. You may not need a trailer at the beginning, but I would say you would really want to kind of commit to that because you're going to make a lot of money in this business and you want to make sure that everything is set up properly. So that's going to be about $30,000. You probably get a truck for about $25,000, and then for a trailer, you're going to probably spend another $5,000. So $30,000 on the truck and trailer. Equipment and inventory is going to be around $7,000, and then your insurance is going to be around $1,000. The $7,000 for the equipment and inventory is going to be your striping machine. There are so many different machines. They range from $3,000 to over $20,000 for the striping machine. So depending on how expensive, how great of a machine you want to go, just look that up and you can make your decision that way. But total startup cost is $38,000. You might already have a truck and a trailer, so that's the biggest chunk of this. So you really need about $10,000 saved up outside of a truck and a trailer. How much can we make and how much can we profit? Well, the average per job revenue, and this can change and vary based on where you're at, so don't destroy me in the comments, but the small and medium lot, for a small medium lot, it's going to be around $450. For a large lot, it can be around $3,000 because you're using a lot of paint, a lot of hours, so you can kind of charge accordingly, but $450 to $3,000. $450 on the small medium lot, $3,000 on the large lot. Your profit margin for this business is going to be 30%. You could probably get that a little bit higher, but if you're going to be paying some guys to work with you and having some material and the paint and everything, you're going to be having a little bit of a material cost there. It's going to drive your profit margin down, but you need to be charging about 60% above your labor and raw material costs so you can ensure that you're creating a nice profit margin for yourself at that 30% level, okay? Your average per job, or your average job per week that you can do, I would say if you're really hitting it hard and you want to do this full time and you're up and running, you've done your marketing, and I'll talk about that in a second, how you can get jobs, but you're going to do about 20 small lots a week. So that's about 2 to 3 a day, and then a large lot once a week. So 20 small lots puts you at $450 per lot. 20 times 450 puts you at $9,000. One large lot is $3,000. So a week, you're bringing in about $12,000. That's really good, but let's not get too crazy about it because we're going to back into our profit margin here. $12,000 a week is $48,000 a month, which is $576,000 a year. Now, there's some weeks, depending where you're at, you may not be able to work in the winter. You may not be able to work when it's raining. I get that. But for the most part, you're going to have really busy weeks. You're going to have small weeks. So I would say around the $500,000 range is what you could really project for a profit if you're staying busy, or a revenue if you're staying busy in this business. Speaking of profit, our cash flow here, our profit margin, 30% again. So our profit per month goes down to $14,400 a month, which is $172,800 a year. I really like this business because the $172,800 a year is a great profit margin, or a great gross or net profit, because that allows us to spend more money to expand this business, hire some people, buy better equipment, and really grow our business. Some businesses, the profit margin is so small that you as the owner, by the time you reinvest back in, you're only making maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year. This business, you can invest $70,000 back in and you're still making over 6 figures. So I love the profit margin of this business. I like how it's quick, it's needed. You're not going to need a ton of equipment. You just need those striping machines. You can really grow this business. Positives of this business: it's very profitable, like I just mentioned, and it's always needed. You're always going to need somebody to paint those lines because that paint does not last that long. I think a parking lot probably needs striping every 2 to 3, 4 years, depending on where you're at and how often it's used. But really, it's always going to be needed. The next thing we want to do, if you're really thinking about this business and you want to run it successfully, start it successfully, and really be successful in this business, the best strategy that I use is I always think of the ways in which a business can fail. This means, what are ways in which would put us out of business? Well, number one, sales. Number two, not doing a great job. Number three, not having employees. Number four, not showing up on time, right? So we need to create strategies around those things. The first thing is sales. We need to network with property managers. They're managing the properties of these commercial lots, and they want to trust that a contractor is going to show up. So networking with them, telling them, hey, if you need somebody this year, let me know. If you need somebody in your properties, let me know. Networking with them, taking them to lunch, getting your name out there. So when they have a lot that needs to be fixed, they're going to call you. Number two, website and SEO. When people search online, who own their own properties, looking for a striping company, they're going to find you on your website because your website shows up for that type of business, okay? The next thing is Facebook. Create a Facebook page, be in those commercial property groups. You know, there's so many groups on Facebook in which people will be asking if somebody knows somebody. Well, if you're in that group, you can say, hey, me, I can do it. So make sure that you're in those groups. Call commercial buildings. You know, that's a huge thing. Call these commercial buildings, say, hey, I saw your parking lot. Go door to door and say, hey, I saw your parking lot. I own a striping business. Be happy to restripe it for you. It's going to be this. Give them a quote. You do that enough times, someone will say yes, and that's how you can get your name out there. The hardest part of running a business is the first 2 to 3 years because nobody knows you. Nobody knows your name. You have to get your name out there, and the best way to do that is to work so hard that whole process is sped up. I remember my first 2 years in business, worked so hard. Now it's easy. Revenue's coming in because I created those relationships and set it up for success. The next thing we need to do is we need to make sure our quality is good. That means we need to go to a class or we need to go shadow somebody in another state. We need to commit to saying, hey, I want to know everything that I need to know and learn how to do this properly so that I'm not put out of business, because sales brings you into business, quality takes you out of business, okay? The next thing we need to do is we need to show up on time. If you say you're going to be somewhere at 10 a.m., you better be there at 10 a.m. Nothing makes people more mad that if they, stanchion off the parking lot and then you don't show up on time. People can't park there. They're upset. You need to show up on time. You need to do it in a timely period in which you say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do, because if you don't, people are going to be upset. Okay, the next thing is employees. We need to start thinking about ways to scale this business. This business is really simple. Each set has a team. You set different teams out there so you can have two different sets going at once, two different type of contracting groups going at once. And when you have those different groups going, then the nice thing about that is you can continue to sit back as the owner eventually and have your groups making sure that they're ready to go out, making sure they're doing their job. And that's how you scale this business. You don't scale this business by being a one-man shop and continuing to operate this way. You have to create a business. You have to institutionalize your business. If not, your business is a job and you can't sell it. I like to buy businesses. I don't want to buy a business in which you as the owner or the owner-operator are doing everything. No, I have too much other stuff going on. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of different businesses to manage. I don't want to be striping parking lots, but if you have a business that has employees and there's a profit margin there and that is going to continue as long as I buy into it and continue to operate the business, that's great for me, because I don't want to be doing 8-10 hours of work of striping. I want to manage the business. So you need to create a business so you can sell the business down the road. Next thing we need to do, if you're really serious about starting this business, you need to hit up a local attorney, a local CPA, and a local insurance agent. I own an insurance agency, so if you need help, I may not be in your state, but I'll be happy to help you. I own Wexford Insurance, and work with a local attorney to set up your company and set up your customer agreement. So that means you send it to your customer signs that you're going to be striping the lot at this price. So if they don't pay you, you have something to fall back on, a legal document. Work with a local attorney. Next thing, we'll work with a local CPA who's going to help you with your taxes, set up your entity, and make sure that you have your business ran properly from a tax perspective, because that will also put you out of business if you don't do that the right way. So get grown up with this business and work with those trusted people. They are going to cost a little bit of money, but they're not as expensive as you would think. Work with a local company, a local insurance agent. I'm not local, probably not in your area, but if you need to find somebody, hit me up. I'll be happy to recommend somebody for you. But a local CPA, local attorney is not going to be as expensive as the big shops, okay? So work with those local guys. And if you also like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. Again, I post a video every day at 1:15 p.m. on how to start these different businesses. So if you're really saying, hey, I want to start a business, I don't know which one to start, go check out my page. I have tons of videos on how to start businesses, how to grow businesses, and I'm here to help you out. So thank you so much and have a great day.